The following session is a so-called closed group setting. It is a panel on change agent work in practice. The peers will be talking about their motivation, challenges and benefits on being a change agent, and the idea is for you as audience to listen and appreciate. Please come on stage, take a seat on the couches. Kann ich noch irgendwas tun? Braucht sie von mir noch irgendwas? Braucht sie noch irgendwas? Kriegst du. Da. Also, notieren.
Hallo?
So, does that work? Yes, you hear me, right? Yeah. Sorry, it took us a bit to prepare it, finally. Yeah, we will have about 50 minutes to talk about how the project went in different countries. And now, I think for the first time, or no, really for the first time, it's not us who are the trainers and so on who are talking, but it's the youngsters who did all of the great work for us and for them and of course for all of us. You want to start, Till?
Yes. Yeah, we just got to know each other, all of us, as this group, because for me also it was new faces from all the peer trainers from the different countries, except Bulgaria, unfortunately. We have from every country at least one peer trainer, and welcome on the stage again. And my first question would be, how did you come to this project? Alex, do you want to start?
In meinem Fall, es ist gar nicht so besonders. Es ist der coolste Lehrer meiner Schule in unsere Klasse gekommen und er hat's mal vorgeschlagen und ich habe noch nicht so viel gewusst am Anfang. Aber ich habe dann eigentlich relativ schnell erfahren, worum es geht. Und dann war natürlich auch gleich die Motivation groß, wirklich mehr dafür zu machen.
Mattia, do you want to answer this question?
Basically, I think a colleague of mine from the place I work at told me there was this, thing where people will learn about toxic masculinity, and I really didn't have a choice because I heard, the Peace Institute is quite famous in Ljubljana. Also because of the right-wing media, because it's portrayed as, the LGBT propaganda. And what a better way to get involved.
Thank you.
How about you, Jose?
I was doing here is my notes. I was doing the juvenile prevention program at Proyecto Hombre. That is the name entity in Malaga. As a form of my personal work to focus more on my life. I finished this program 2 years ago, and this summer they called me from Proyecto Hombre to go give a workshop. There I meet Rafa, and he suggested me that I come to do this project. And I thought it was interesting, so here I am.
Great. How about the German team? How did you get involved in the project?
Last year I was working my voluntary year, and I started a podcast with my friends, with Mikolai. We started talking about the topic because I was thinking in my circle of friends we never talk about masculinity, about other political topics. Then my employee took notice and said, I have an offer. Talk to Dissens, talk to Till, and we immediately sent an email and said we're interested. Yeah.
So actually, it's not like Till came to you and asked you. So you came to Till and asked him if you can. Okay, that's nice. How do you do that? Can you?
Magic.
Okay. Do we have everyone right now? Not yet, right? Would you give the? Oh yeah, right. You didn't say anything yet. Yeah.
My sister was peer educator, and she was told about this project, and then she told me about this project, and I found it interesting knowing the different kind of genders and this toxic masculinity and masculinity in progress. So I participated at school this project, and then there was this conference in Florence, and I went there too, and now I'm here. So, yeah.
And what was your personal motivation then to get into the project?
I wanted to get a better opinion and a better understanding about the genders and the masculinity in progress, and how the men are watched in this society, and how can we help men in this society about gender equality and showing more emotions for them and things like that. Yeah.
I would also like to say something about my motivation. During my voluntary year, we had a lot of workshops that I visited, and noticed there are a lot of unhealthy habits that I carry with me. And I started asking myself, where do they come from? And after very long discussions with my girlfriend, she opened my eyes to a lot of things. I said, I definitely want to keep going and keep learning about the topic and spread the information to my friends. Yeah.
Romina, you've got the mic. You want to?
Ja, also meine Motivation war eher, dass ich was Neues ausprobiere sozusagen. Und mich hat das Thema auch interessiert und ja.
And for me, it would be also interesting. Have you had experiences in giving workshops before?
Nein, gar nicht.
Oh, wow. Sarah, do you want to?
Anywhere must be. Yeah, there's the fourth.
My personal motivation was that the project helped develop a better understanding about the society we live in, because it's not always that easy to understand some themes, and I learned how to relate with other people, other young men, other boys, girls, and in general other people, and it was really important because the peer education system, it really worked with my classmates and other boys at school, so it was very important for me because it was a very nice project and important for all the members. Yeah.
Miko, what was your motivation to take part?
Yeah. I work from about now. I work 7 years at a social organization. It's called Beteiligungsfüchse. It's in Berlin. And I did in those 7 years a lot of social work with schools, different kind of workshops. And me and Siad are both from the same organization. And it was like, in this moment, the timing was very important because of, we talked at the podcast with Siad and a bunch of different friends of us about masculinity. And then 1 or 2 weeks later, we get from our chef, I would say, that that Till is looking for people in Berlin for this project. And we were interesting because it happened like very spontaneous, because we talked like about the topic like 2 weeks ago. And it was kind of a new path for us, I would say, or for me, because 7 years I did like workshops in different schools in Berlin, different topics, but this was something brand new for me. And I would say it was very fun, yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe Sarah, do you also want to tell us about your motivation to get into the project?
Hi, I already also worked as a youth worker on different teams, and we were talking about growing up and their problems, and sometimes it was sex education, but it wasn't structured. So for me, it came like in the best time possible. So I was able to put my knowledge that I come in contact here on this project to administrate it in other projects as well, and I will in my work, so I loved it.
So let's go a little bit deeper into what you experienced in the workshops, and also all of you not only had experience in workshop, in giving workshops, and in how the topics were discussed and how the methods you used to motivate or to stimulate discussions, how they worked well or not well, and what discussion evolved. But you also were in a capacity building program, so we were giving you information about the methods. You were getting a multiplier training by us, and all this process from the beginning to the end. My question would be, what were the most interesting experiences for you? The most memorable experiences right now in this situation?
For me, it was the workshop we gave in a school of special education, if you can say it like that.
Förderschule?
Yeah, genau,
Yeah.
special education.
Yeah.
And we went in there with low expectations because we've been told they have never talked about that topic, they have never been in touch with that topic. But after those 2 days we spent with them, I was filled with so much Selbstwirksamkeit. What does that mean?
Self-esteem?
Self-worth, no. Difficult. Positive feeling. Yeah, so, and because I went in there with such low expectations, and they had a different kind of honesty to them, because in other schools they try to be cooler, they have a facade, some sort of facade, but they wore their heart on a sleeve, I would say, and we bonded immediately. After like 1 hour, sit in a circle, talked a little bit, and then it felt like we are homies. So yeah, definitely my favorite experience.
Thank you, Mark. Lilian, do you want to go on?
I think my most memorable experience was getting to know all the people from different countries and getting to know all their opinions on these various things. And in Florence, we did like kind of little workshops with different schools. And I got to know the opinion of people of my age, but different opinion of mine, and I find it very memorable experience because I had more knowledge of all the things. So yeah, and also after I in my school I did a peer educator, and I explained all these things that I learned to the people of.
A few years younger?
Yeah, younger
yes.
people, yeah. And it was hard at first because younger people are they yeah, no, they don't listen all that much, and they I seem to get that they're not interested in all those things. So it was hard at first, but after they got a little bit more in it, and we bonded a lot at that moment too. So yeah.
Maybe just some background information to those who were not familiar with this, with the concept of these workshops we did or you did. They were sometimes just 2 hours and then spread over a long time, and sometimes 2 days. So also very different, sometimes really short time interventions, always in total short time interventions. Even 2 days are very short to talk about all those topics, but sometimes they were really short and spread all over a few months or weeks in some countries because of structural purposes.
Alex and Romina, do you want to say something about this? What was the most interesting part for you?
Okay, also es gibt tatsächlich mehrere wirklich spannende Erfahrungen, die ich da gemacht habe. Da zu sitzen ist auf jeden Fall eine davon, das kann ich sagen. Aber auch, dass einer der Workshops, die ich gehalten habe, wurde von einem Filmteam begleitet. Da war die Romina eher auch dabei. Und allein schon diesen Workshop zu machen mit Ton, also einer Person mit diesem langen Tonarm und der großen Kamera mitten im Raum, das war sehr, sehr spannende Erfahrung. Das war sehr interessant.
Romina, möchtest du noch was ergänzen dazu, oder?
Ja, also es ist halt spannend gewesen, wirklich, wie das dann alles aufgebaut ist, eben mit diesem Kamerateam. Und man hat auch gemerkt, dass die Schüler eben an dem Tag, wo das Kamerateam da war, brav waren und dann nicht mehr und sich zusammengerissen haben wirklich und mitgearbeitet haben. Ja, sonst nicht wirklich.
Vielleicht zur Ergänzung, wir sind angefragt worden von 2 FilmemacherInnen für einen Film, der sich mit dem Thema beschäftigt, How to Stop Femicides. Wir dachten, die filmen den Workshop so aus dem Hintergrund, ganz unauffällig, und wir können ganz normal arbeiten. Und tatsächlich war es so, dass wir so einen Sesselkreis gebildet hatten und die standen wirklich mitten im Raum und haben das total okkupiert. Und das war sehr überraschend für uns alle. Aber es hat gut geklappt, glaube ich. And now I switch to German, I just realized. So was there anything similar in the other countries, something that surprised you?
So,
Mattea, yeah?
Yeah, I think the stories should start like this. So, like, I study sociology, and it's like theoretical. And, you know, you can have all these theories, and people always speak about putting the theory into practice, but no one actually speaks about how to do it. And now, like, I think I have some knowledge about the topic, but then I was in front of 20 kids. You don't know their life stories. You don't know anything about them. And you should, like, present this topic to them as if it was something that they were really interested in, or to like show it how life-changing it is. So it was like really a challenge how to actually put this knowledge into a more understanding context, which I usually have because I'm bubbled, like I'm just gonna say it like this. So I put myself in this bubble of critical thinking, but you're there in front of 20 kids that they've never spoken about this subject. So I think that was the most challenging thing, but also I'd like to point out how complex this topic is. Like, yeah, as I said, you can read as many books as you want, but then this kid comes up to you and says something that you can't really put in any box. And how, like, also, but the time we at the Peace Institute did workshops only one time with separate groups. So me and Sara only saw them once. And like, the issue was really how to have this personal attitude, but also not too personal. I mean, like it was so complex, I can't really comprehend it right now. But it was definitely, it gave me a lot of knowledge about how to approach kids that certainly have to have knowledge about this.
We had to stop ourselves at every step if we truly wanted to listen to them. I'm a social pedagogist, so I'm a little bit more informed about how to stop myself to work okay, but it was a challenge for me as well. It was important to listen to them when they're really angry or on the border aggressive. This we found that it was a good method to let them just rage it out and to start their own critical thinking. Because if we were defensive, like, no, what you're talking, this really isn't okay, this is really violent, you have to stop now, we just stopped the process. We just got beaten back and we were angry. So that wasn't really peaceful of us. So afterwards, we just gave them a chance to speak up and don't be so plastic and group-minded, because when you're exposed, you just have to go a little bit into yourself, your own opinion, and that's what we really liked. So we were a little bit controversial about the populistic idol Andrew Tate. When we started talking about it, we had like some of his tweets, and then we wanted to discuss it. What do they think about it? And there were lots and lots of boys, unfortunately, that told us that he is their favorite idol. And you know how it is with idol, you worship them, and when somebody says, hey, this is not okay about it, and this is the first thing that you say, you just go into the defensive mood. And we try to respect that. So what we did, it was a little bit ambivalent, and we still don't know if it was okay. Maybe we would have to do consecutive sessions with them. But for an icebreaker, it was really okay. We asked them, what is the good thing that Andrew Tate does? What is the good things that you idolize him about it? Is there something? And we gave them validation about it, and we wrote it on the table. What are the pluses? So they were able to tell us everything and start to listen themselves. And then we saw the problem in the group when they were like, oh, wait, is that okay? Is that not? They started to really talk about it, not just like liking and retweeting and reposting his quotes. So then we were able to have the benefit of doubt when you truly listen to them, even if there was involved hate speech, and I still don't like it, but it worked. What it's not okay about idolizing him. So that was something that worked for us, among other stuff.
Thank you. I would like to ask the others, this was, thank you for this very concrete insight in what you did and what you talked about. I think everybody of you had some focus on different topics. Some of you talked about Andrew Tate, but the others maybe they had a focus on on another topic. Maybe you can just, for those who were not familiar with the methods or with the topics, what was your favorite topic or method? What worked well? What did you like the most of? And maybe you can just tell a bit about it. Do you want to start, Romina?
Also ich glaube, meine Lieblingsmethode war, und worauf wir uns meines Wissens nach, meines Gefühls nach am meisten fokussiert haben, waren die Formen der Gewalt. Also da gibt es eine Übung, die heißt Gewaltampel, die hat mir am meisten Spaß gemacht, weil es eigentlich immer was Neues gegeben hat. Man hat Meinungen gehört, man hat was gelernt von den Kindern und man hat auch den Kindern, finde ich, so auf eine angenehme Art den Kindern was beibringen können, weil es auch ein bisschen spielerisch war. Und das ist ein ganz leichtes Prinzip. Es gibt 3 Zonen auf dem Boden. Zone Nummer 1 ist, es ist Gewalt. Zone Nummer 2 ist, es ist vielleicht Gewalt. Und Nummer 3 ist, es ist keine Gewalt. Und dann lesen wir halt ein Beispiel vor und dann stellen sich halt die Kinder dahin, wo sie glauben, dass es am ehesten passt. Und das habe ich immer am besten gefunden, weil man halt wirklich genau die Meinungen der Kinder hört und man hört auch von spannenden Erfahrungen, die die Kinder gemacht haben. Und deswegen, das war immer so mein Favorit und da hat man wirklich, finde ich, jedes Mal was Spannendes lernen können. Und man hat auch den Kindern auch, man hat selbst was gelernt und man hat auch den Kindern was beibringen können. Das war, finde ich cool.
Mhm. Vielleicht noch einen weiteren, Romina?
Ja, also wir haben auch viel über Geschlechtergerechtigkeit gemacht. Also eben welche Vor- und Nachteile jetzt die Männer haben oder eben auch Frauen. Und auch als aktuelles Thema auch LGBTQ, da war die Methode Ja, ich, nein, ich nicht. Wo dann auch so Begriffe erklärt worden wie intergeschlechtlich oder halt die ganzen sexuellen Formen und ja. Das waren so die Hauptmethoden, die wir bei den 2 Workshops, die wir hatten, gemacht haben.
Anyone wants to say something?
Yeah, in Italy, I really like the fact that we focused on the pop culture because we live in a society that gives us messages every day, every time, and we analyze those messages. We analyze media forms like music or other things that are part of our cultures, like superheroes, films, and we analyze them in a different way that it's not traditional. We discovered that most of them are not a good model of masculinity, and we learned how to analyze those media forms and those messages that the society gave us because it's not obvious, no. And that was really interesting. And we made comparisons between songs or films, and it was really fun, but really, it was really important because we live in a pop culture and we live in a mass media culture, and yeah.
Thank you.
I got 2 methods I really enjoyed. One is called Real Men and Real Men. First, we gather expectations from society towards men, and then we tell the students to decide on one man in their life. It could be their coach, their trainer, their brother, a friend of them, and they write down 3 attributes they really appreciate about them, and then we vergleich nochmal auf Englisch.
Compare.
We compare them. The other one is a theater scene, where we play a scene where one of the students is playing a student that has a problem, but is not ready to talk about it, or maybe one of us is playing that role, and then another student has to figure out, or not necessarily has to figure out, but has to try to deal and help his colleague, his friend, to feel better. And it's interesting to see the different approaches of the students. One of them is just saying, let's beat him up, let's go to them and jump him, or do you need to go out, we can eat some, we can talk about it, or maybe we can just do something else to get your mind off of it. And I think that's sometimes, or a lot of times, was the moment where it made click in their head, and they really started working with us, and we could pick up everyone during the workshop, and not just a couple of students that want or are active in the class. Yeah, I pass it to Nikolai.
Yeah, I wanted to add what I found interesting was like every class we went was very different. The people were different. Their opinion were different, and to see it, like maybe we had some people there with quite controversial opinion on the topic, and it was very cool to see how slowly we got the layers of them. We broke the ice, and we saw that the opinion is not that strong after we left. as if we came there and nothing were talked about. So I think it's very interesting because we can't change from 1 minute to another the whole opinion they got, they lived their whole life with. But we can make some points, make some arguments, and maybe make them think about it more. So that was very interesting.
I would just like to add from my perspective that also sometimes just the appearance of you as and your gender and your opinion in this context of the schools can change something. It doesn't have to be only what you're saying, but also your masculinity and to show a diversity of masculinity and opinions. And it was always very touching for me to see when I come to a class how the participants also get softer by being taught by you. And yeah. Thank you.
Talking about role models, did anyone of you had the feeling within the workshop or besides that you are kind of role models for the kids you were working with? No? Okay, Alex, you're also shaking your head, but I've been a lot of in your school, and I see you a lot of interacting with little students. So, are you sure about that? You're not a role model.
Also ich habe schon das Gefühl, dass ich so ein kleines Vorbild für einige kleine Kinder bin. Das nicht auf eine arrogante Art und Weise, sondern einfach, weil ich viele Freundschaften mit diesen Jüngeren habe. Aber ich glaube jetzt nicht, dass wenn ich einen Workshop halte, dass sie mich anschauen und sich denken, wow, der Junge ist es. Das glaube ich jetzt ehrlich gesagt nicht. Aber ich habe schon das Gefühl gehabt, wie ich selbst ausgebildet wurde und du, Alex, immer geredet hast, da habe ich schon irgendwie auch dich so als Vorbild gesehen. So dass, wie du mir das beigebracht hast und du mir das ganze Wissen ergeben hast, habe ich schon immer so dieses Gefühl gehabt, der Junge ist es.
Danke. Danke, das nehme ich gern.
But that could lead us to our next question. I was talking German before I recognized, sorry. I think, no, I didn't. Oh.
I also get confused.
But I was thinking German and then, okay. So, I want to know from you, what do you think the participants gained by the workshop you gave? And what did you gain by the workshop, by giving the workshops to the participants, to the young people? We were talking about role models, but also about changing opinion. Maybe there's more, something different.
Yeah.
See it? Okay.
I think the students gain a workshop from young and cool adults. What we gain from, I think it's interesting. It was very interesting for me to step out of the role of the student that is receiving the workshop and seeing the dynamic in a class and not being part of it, and understanding how much I annoyed my teachers or other people that visited my school. Furthermore, I think when young people and people that are not from the school visit the school and have the role of the teacher, you can easily and quickly build a relationship with the students that I think they need. So also, because even if the teacher is very nice to you and is cool and is everything positive, it's still the teacher. It's still a gap between you and them. And if you're like me, I'm 21 years old. I was working with 17-year-olds. We're laughing about the same memes, listening to the same music, playing the same games, watching the same shows. So yeah, I think it's just having another student that's maybe 3 years older than you there and talking to you like an older brother, older sister. Yeah, that's my point.
Lilian, Romino, do you want to? No? Okay. You don't have to if you don't want.
I hope that they gain a better opinion of the society from more workshops and how to accept other genders to them, because when I entered a classroom full of people, they already had opinions on things, and so when I said I explained to them like some things, they changed. I mean, I'm not saying that they changed, that I changed their opinion, but I hope at least they understand better things the way they were actually. So yeah, I hope they gained a better opinion on society and things like that.
Romina, do you want to say something? Or are you just keeping the microphone?
Ja, also ich glaube...
But that's fine as well, sorry.
Nein, es ist alles gut. Nein, also ich glaube, also ich hoffe, dass die Kinder halt wirklich so Sachen mitgenommen haben, wie eben wie gesagt worden ist, eben dieses mit den Gendern, dass sie das besser akzeptieren und sich halt auch mit dem Thema ein bisschen mehr beschäftigen und vielleicht auch hineinfühlen. Ja, und ich glaube auch, dass sie zukünftig in anderen Situationen vielleicht ein bisschen anders handeln oder die Situation anders handeln können. Ja.
Okay. Jose, do you also want to tell us what you gained from the workshops and what you think your students gained from it?
One thing that I felt very identified with is the challenge in which men are involved. Challenge that a man proposed to another man. And that most of the time they are challenges that are harmful to health. And the mentality that if you refuse to do it, you have less value as a person.
What I gained from the workshop is, I would say, growth. I think I built up my self-belief, because I think like a few years ago, I wouldn't be on this stage voluntarily because I was too shy as a kid. And now I think through the work I do and being in front of people, it helps me a lot. So I'm shy, I'm nervous a little bit, but I'm much more self-believing in me to be in front of people and talking in the third language, because I'm come from Berlin, but I'm originally from Poland. So it's my third language, and I think that's something that really helps me, like being in front of people, testing myself. And it was really fun, because we were at the start a group of 5 people when we got schooled to do the workshops. And we all from different parts, except maybe from me and Ziad, because we know each other since 9 years old. So it's a quite longer time, but with the other 3, we connected very well, even though we are from different parts, we all different, but we connected very well. And yeah, I'm proud to be part of this project.
So, I would also like to add something to what Nikolai said. I think being in the role of, was heißt Pädagoge auf Englisch?
Sorry?
Pädagoge?
Pedagogue?
Pedagogue really changes one. I think before I was starting to do workshops, I was different type of person. But then when you have to be some sort of role model and do the right thing, I think it goes a long way. And I think I've been mentally, I aged 2 years safe, which is good.
Maybe also from Slovenia, do you want to tell us some special moment which you gained from it?
Yeah, now that you were speaking about, it's also important how, as well, we are youngsters. We are the generations that is making a change at this moment, and we are their group, and how important and transformative was also for us to participate in this, how we widened our horizons. So this was really nice as well. And in one school that is really good school in Slovenia, we would say, would you describe it? The preschool one, that they were the ones that taught us when we came, so that was a really good experience.
Yeah, maybe one interesting thing, when we started to do workshops, I used this phrase very much, like, you understand, right? And then I just continued. And then my colleagues, Sara or Lana, that were working with me, were like, you asked them if they understand you, but then you didn't really see their reaction and continued speaking. So then I realized, like, yeah, I think I should start from the very scratch and just use the most simple methods and examples and see how they react. So I think what I gained was to be more patient and tolerant towards anything. Also, when we had a bad experience at this school, which was in a more conservative environment, you know, at the end of the day, it's not their fault that they have these opinions. What you can't really change their opinions. What you can change is the predisposition on the basis of which they will make these opinions. And I think we did that.
The message that we always try to give, mostly when we worked in the groups that was mostly filled with boys, it was the one that don't be oppressive to yourself. Can't you see it? Please, don't be. The patriarchy affects all gender. And I think that some of them, they saw it.
Yes, we're coming to an end. Our last question would be, is there anything you wish for the future? Meaning for the future of looking back to the project, and looking forward to some new project, how to go on regarding the topic or topics you were talking about with the youngsters.
Does anyone want to start?
Well, we want to continue it. We just got good at it. So we're really sorry that now we have to stop. There's probably no need. So I just got good to work with Mattia. Our organization just made the video game that it was presented, and that would be an amazing tool to work with. We just saw what works, what not. So yeah, I also think it's a little bit ironic and rational to stop at this point. But we will find other ways how to implement this knowledge and methods.
How about you, Romina and Alex? You will go on, right?
Also ich hoffe auch, dass wir so das Projekt weitermachen können oder halt es gibt jetzt ein neues Projekt, soweit ich weiß, dass ich da auch weiterhin machen kann. Und ja, ich hoffe auch, dass es, weil soweit ich weiß, ist jetzt nur unsere Schule aus Österreich, wo das gemacht worden ist. Ich hoffe, das wird jetzt auch weiter in den anderen Schulen auch gemacht. Und ja.
Ja, also ich hoffe auch, dass das Projekt weitergeht, dass ich weiterhin dabei sein werde und dabei sein darf. Und ich hoffe auch, dass das Projekt noch auf der ganzen Welt und und halt einfach, dass das Projekt weiter wächst und dass es halt noch größer wird, dass solche Veranstaltungen sogar noch größer werden können.
So good news from us. At least until June we will go on with the project. Probably longer than that, hopefully. And we would love to see you there, of course.
Anything else in here?
Yeah, obviously, I'd like to see more of these projects, a progress of this one, and more events like this, because a lot of people here could experience, had the opportunity to experience workshops and working with other people, and it's really important. And events like this, well organized, and are beautiful, and I hope those themes and events, projects spread across the country and the whole world. Yeah, and yeah, this was amazing.
Thank you. See ya.
Keep it financed, the project. Yeah, and maybe add another day, because after the second day is when it gets good. The first day they're a little bit shy and you get to know them, and after the second day we always, when we talk about it, when we reflect about the workshop, it's always like, I wish we had another day, because now we are close with the students. So if anyone who has money is listening, is watching, definitely finance it.
Yeah, I think it was a good last word, and it also evokes a feeling here regarding this conference. It feels like, for me, it's the first conference of a of a project, and it feels like now we're starting because now we know each other, and now I'm really looking forward to the dinner with all of you to exchange more, and yeah, let's hope that there will be money for us.
Before we end, there are more peers than these 9 in the room, so maybe you would like to stand up for a moment, so everyone can see you, how many you are. Thank you. Yeah, would say that's it from us, right?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Upsa. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who made this day so interesting and intense, and so I'm really hyped for change, and all I can do is ask you to give us a small evaluation. Please do a scan in German or English, because we've reached the end of this really great conference. Vielen Dank. Ich übergebe das Wort an dich, Elli, für die Abschlussworte und verabschiede mich ganz herzlich von Ihnen. Danke.
Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah. Now I started the day in German, and I will finalize in English. I thought it's better now. You're welcome. Yeah. I am full with emotions and ideas and thoughts, and this was incredible and interesting talk from all your change agents. Thank you very much for that, for your insights, the challenges you faced when you when you carried out the workshops and all the benefits and learning. So thank you very much for that. So you all here in this room made this conference working. It was a culture of care conference, I would say. We all took care for each other. And I also want to say I'm also a sociologist. I'm a social researcher. And I work on this concept of caring masculinity since, I would say, 2001, together with Baku and Mark, for example, in the Work Changes Gender project we started. So from this time on, we always work on the issue of caring masculinities. We write reports, we write scientific articles, we publish papers, everything. But that we started to think about how can we put this into practice. This is not so old. These ideas are quite recent, and I think you really showed that it can work, that it's possible to make a theoretical concept or a normative, political, theoretical concept a living concept. So caring masculinities, and this was shown today, can be brought to life. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for all the change agents, all the work you did, the videos. It's great material that we can now widespread all over the world. It's in English, so spread it. And I would like to say, peacefulness is the new cool, Mart, and also care is the new cool. And I would like to say thank you. When I talk about care, I would like to say thank you to all the people who organized this, who were part of the organization team, and those who were not on stage now. I would like to say thank you to Eva, Eli, Tagsacher for the moderation. You were on stage, but thank you very much. And I would like to say thank you to the organizational team. I will now name you and ask you to come on stage. It's Oliver Bosch, Alex Moschitz, Mario Carmona, Veronika Supan, Philipp Strametz, Lisa Wagner, Alex Muth, Lisa Mitischek, Manfred Kummer, Juri Heusgen. I would like to say thank you to the technical team, Gabi Holosch and Paul, Marie-Therese Gruber. Please come on stage now. Sophie Staud, Simon from the technician, and all the people serving us food, drinks. Navina, Melanie, Kata, Judith, and Robert Rötzer. I hope I got all of them. So thank you very much. So thanks very much to this great team, really. You did a good work. Also to the technicians up there. And Yuri. I think you know my name. Yeah, I would like to tell you that we have our last partner meeting tomorrow. We will meet at Women's Shelter and talk about the follow-up project. So thanks for all your ideas. We will take it with us, because we know that the new call is out on the 12th of December. So we can straight go forward. Today at 7 o'clock, we rented half of the Kunsthaus restaurant. It's the friendly alien bubble, you know, this Kunsthaus, this art house in Graz. And we will have come together. You will have to pay for your own in the evening, but nevertheless, we could come together and celebrate a bit. So have a great evening. I hope I see all of you.